And now, coming to you live from Studio B in beautiful downtown Paris, Tennessee, My Paris TV and Paris Production Studios presents Keel Media Network's #1 rated program, The Mike Weatherford Show. Now here is your host, Mike Weatherford.
We've all seen the price increases and the shortage in the grocery stores and just about everything else you need in today's world. What's going on? Can the farmers keep up with the demand? How are the farmers coping with all this? Are we going to see farmers going bankrupt with the cost of farming going through the roof? We're going to find out tonight when I got local farmers Jerry and Blake Stewart, along with local ag equipment and a farmer and a person who keeps up with all the world events. Tim Brandon's going to be here with us. Maybe they can tell us what's going to happen. But first, I want to remind you about what's coming up in the next few weeks. You asked for it, and we heard you. We're starting our Meet the Candidate program starting April the 5th. We have Matt Stowe and Neil Thompson coming in, candidates for a 24th Judicial Attorney coming in. We'll be talking with them about who they are and why should we vote for them. Then, the following week on April the 12th, we have Vicki Snyder and Chad Cox coming in. They are candidates for the General Session Judge. Let's see what they got to say about all this. You don't want to miss these shows. So I want to introduce some people here tonight that I think we're going to get some answers to what's going on in this world. Like I said, we all go to the grocery store. There's nothing on the shelves hardly, or if they got it, it's very few of them. And prices, fuel prices, prices on everything we eat, meat. I mean, we all haven't become vegetarians nowadays with the price of meat, but hell, that ain't even cheap with the price of everything going on. So I want to introduce two of them, Jerry and Blake Stewart. They're farmers here in locally farmers. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey.
Appreciate you, Jerry. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for getting us in here.
I appreciate it. Blake, how you doing?
All pretty good.
So y'all guys got off the tractors and got the cows fed and run up here right quick to get on here with me.
Yep. I just jumped out of the sprayer right before there and fed the cows and come on up here.
That's what we got to do, man. Y'all big farmers out there in my area. That's in God's country, we call it out there.
Yeah, that's God's country. That's where it all started.
That's where it is.
Yep.
When he comes back, that's where he'll come first, out there in the high coal Whitlock area, right? That's where he'll come from. How many acres y'all boys farming?
I'm not real sure, but it's probably around 2,800 acres.
3,000 acres farm.
About 3,000.
Jeez, that's a lot of farmland, man. Because you ever thought, when I was a kid, when a man said he farmed 300 acres, he had a lot of mules.
That's right.
He had a lot of plows. Also tonight, I got a friend of mine coming here with us, Tim Brandon from B&G Equipment. He's a farmer and sells equipment. And what you got there, brother?
I just want this made perfectly clear because there may be opinions spread about, and I want everyone to know that this is a no slap zone tonight.
So we can't...
Mike, do not slap me if I say something that...
Okay, so this is a no slap zone. Okay.
Yes, no slap zone.
So if I say a joke or Jerry says a joke and you don't like it, we can't come over and slap you.
Please. I'm the least one here. So.
Welcome to the show, Tim. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you asking us.
What I want to do tonight is a lot of people think farmers are getting rich because the food costs in the store are so high. We're hearing all the news media 24/7 when they ain't talking about Ukraine, which that's devastated me. I got a problem with what's going on in Ukraine, but that's a different story. It's about food costs. It's about the cost of our fuel and shortages. So I want y'all guys, which I surrounded myself with smart people. You know, that's what I do. And I want to get it like my daddy used to say, right out of the horse's mouth. But I think we can do that. I think we can probably shed a little light on what the problem is. Don't you agree?
Oh, I agree, and I hope it would be the horse's mouth instead of another part of his anatomy.
Well,
but
we're not going to be that end.
Okay,
we can't do that unless the Stewart boys, unless they find some insulting over here. So y'all boys are farming, say 3,000 acres. Is it tough this year? Is it going to be tough?
I think this is going to be one of the most unknown. We don't know where we're going years that we've ever been into.
How many years you been farming?
At least a couple.
30, 40 years, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably 50.
50 years. That's a lot of farming.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of ups.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of downs. You was
Yeah.
probably a
Yeah.
young kid like myself during the Russian embargo problems and,
Yep.
and fuel shortages we had in the past. And,
Yep.
and I'm hearing rumors this is going to go deeper than that ever went to. It's probably already there with the prices and stuff.
Well, I can remember back, I think it was late 70s, I had a truck, and I can remember $5 diesel back then.
Right?
And that's when they started these fuel, can't remember, fuel surcharges on stuff. And that's still going on today.
Oh, yeah. I pay it at my shop. But what's the biggest thing that you have seen? I'm going to get with you too, Blake. What's the biggest you've seen change as far as the business of farming in the last your generation? What have you seen change that Blake or your son will never don't know what's going on? There's a lot of it, I'm sure. What comes to your mind that you'd like to?
One of the biggest things, saying we just the money stuff. It's just we just handle so much money. We don't get to keep it. We just handle it, and it's just going up and up. And
Is the cost of farming higher than you've ever seen it this year?
oh yes,
By tenfold probably.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake, tell me what you're seeing from your years of farming. What you seeing different this year?
Well, there's a lot of things, like just for instance, the technology that's going on nowadays is just outrageous. And then also due to this Ukraine, well, I don't know if it's Ukraine or China or what's going on, but like chemicals, I was spraying today and I called Co-op. Actually, I called Co-op and about 3 other people, and they said, you can't get it nowhere around, whatever this chemical that I was wanting. So we had to go a different route. But just in my short lifetime, I'm 27, the technology, I mean, like my spray rig don't even have no foam markers on it or anything. You don't even know where you're going. It's relying on that GPS signal. And now John Deere and Case have all automated equipment. I mean, you can get well, I don't know if you can buy it yet, but it'll be available before long. A tractor that ain't even got no cab on it.
Won't even have a place for you to sit, probably.
No, I ain't even got no
That's
cab
in
on
your
it.
ball. That's in your wheelhouse, Tim. You know, as they say, that's what you do for a living. You sell farming equipment.
That's the old farmer joke about a tractor with no seat and steering wheel. That's the farmer that lost his rear end and don't know where to turn. That's an old joke. But yes, technology has come along. But an illustration, my brother Tony came to me and he said, do you know on rented cornland this year, we may be looking at $1,100 to $1,200 an acre cost on renting corn ground. That's like double what it was last year.
What? Anybody chime in? What did it cost 5 years ago to put an acre of corn in? I'm talking about what it cost to buy the seed, fertilizer, diesel fuel to put it in the ground, all your chemicals, harvest it, and bring it out of the field. About what an acre?
Several years ago, probably, I'm just going to say $400 to $500 an acre.
$475 was.
Yep. What do you project it to be this year? Anybody?
Well,
North of 1,000?
As I said, yes,
yeah.
around $1,100 on
$1,100.
rented ground.
So that's double.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is the price of corn? We're talking about just corn. We got beans and wheat. Is the price of corn double?
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, how y'all going to make it?
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm serious.
It's just, farmers are probably the dumbest person in the world. We just keep going.
Well, you got to. I mean, you got 3,000 acres of land, and not getting personal, but you probably got debt, and you probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I like my corn on the cob, and seems like y'all guys buy everything at retail prices, and you sell everything at wholesale prices.
Yep.
Pay the freight both ways.
That's right. How in the hell do you farm and make a living? I mean, there's no more 3 or 4. If you're farming 3,000 acres, and it's going to be tough this year to make a profit, is not a 4-letter dirty word. Profit is a word that we have to use in my business and y'all's business. How in the hell y'all going to make it? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. We're already short, and you're looking at north of $1,000 an acre to put corn in. Would you ever believe you see that?
No, never.
Would you?
Yeah.
No, it's, and you're right, profit's not a dirty word. This is the United States of dollars. The United States was founded on people looking to come and have free enterprise and have the ability to achieve, and nobody has done that better than the American farmer. How do they survive? They always find a way. They're the most innovative, they're the most energetic. The definition, Dr. Howard Jarvis said the definition of a farm is a piece of land that if you own it, you get up early enough on it, you work hard enough on it, you'll get rich on it. If you strike oil on it.
So I'll be right. But I'm going to ask individually, I'm going to start with you, Jared. Why are we having shortages?
Well, I don't think, we've got the stuff. I mean, the stuff is out there. The shortages is probably coming, it's not getting to where it needs to go.
You got silos, still got corn last year's corn?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So what do you think? Yeah. You think it's the problem is between you as the farmer, Henry County farmer, and let's say Jackson, Tennessee, where they make grits.
Yep, yeah.
So the problem is where?
Well, I mean, we're taking it down there, but are they able to get it to the store? Is the truck drivers available to take it to the store?
What do you think? What do you think in your opinion? That's Dad over there. Your opinion. What do you think?
Well, it's the same way. And this COVID, I mean, it's changed everything. I mean, back when COVID first came out, I mean, the packing houses. That's what slowed down a lot of produce and stuff.
Right.
Was these packing houses? They had to separate out 6 foot, and all that kind of stuff.
Crazy in hell.
I can't remember when it was, but not too long ago, you couldn't find no meat on the shelf.
No.
But the cows are still walking around.
Yeah.
But the packing houses couldn't ship it out that quick. I mean, they can only, when they cut their employees in by a third.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to produce that amount they need.
Tim, what do you think is causing this short? I go to Walmart. I know y'all don't grow toilet paper. It's not a, but there's no toilet paper. Hard to find crackers. I can sit here and name off a bunch of things. It's just harder than hell to find. What's going on? What in your opinion, what's causing this?
I don't know, but how often does she send you to the grocery store? Crackers and toilet paper.
Well, you got to have them both.
Mike.
You need them both. Well, I like crackers in my soup.
Yeah, no, seriously, Blake's right. We were kind of on an even keel, normal complaining, and COVID hit. Mm-hmm. And COVID caused the start of the supply chain crisis because you didn't have enough people to carry out the transportation.
Well, they was calling them essential workers. I was part of that.
Does it ever bother you when Washington has a snowstorm and they say all non-essential employees can stay home? Uh-huh. What's a non-essential employee? But anyway,
well, that's anybody in Washington, in my opinion. Well, y'all can do your own.
I won't disagree with that. But the COVID hit, and then we had an election, and all of a sudden the price of energy went up. When the price of energy started going up, both all petroleum distillates and natural gas, which is the input to a lot of the farm fertilizers and the processes of distilling oil for transportation, it's a perfect storm between higher prices and a supply chain issue, and coming out of the COVID with people getting back into a routine.
They're not, Tim. That's the problem.
The demand, well, they're coming out of it. It's not completely, but our energy usage is up. So people are driving. They're not like when everybody was.
Everybody I know is looking for help. I don't get political, but when you pay a man to stay home more than he was making working, but I think that's all run out, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. But you're right on that. But it's more of of a talking point because it was a small percentage of it. The biggest problem is we are becoming an aging society. And when this hit and everybody started working from home, those that didn't have the technology just left the labor force. And that's one of the biggest problem we've got is labor force participation is down.
It's hard to find manual labor. Y'all guys, y'all have to hard workers, I'm sure. Y'all too can't farm all that.
You looking at him.
Does he work you like a clay pit mule?
Oh, no, not too bad. I mean, we all just jump in there and do it, though.
It's just the three of us. We was selling corn last fall.
Yeah.
And we sort of tried to figure out how we could get some stuff done. And I said, if we get somebody to help us, and we got a guy to come with a truck help us. We had 3 trucks. My wife and the Blake's wife and Michael's wife, they was unloading the trucks. And the guy that was helping his truck, of course, his Michael's wife had a baby here a little while back. He said, if I'd have known she'd have been pregnant, she wouldn't have been out there unloading that truck. I mean, we was all out there working.
Yeah.
That's
just how it is. I mean, people like us four, let me count as 4, we do what it takes to get the job done.
And we just do what we got to do.
That's right. You do what you got to do. But speaking about crops, corn crop being north of $1,000, $1,100 an acre.
Yep.
Kevin, you got a picture of some fertilizer prices. It goes up to 2021, and I'm gonna get these guys to correct me here. Put that was I think that was Look at that. And 2021, it jumped up to 16. I'm sure that's per ton, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's per ton.
That's per ton.
Right,
That's
16, and it's even higher now.
It's higher now. I wish you had a chart on the grain prices.
Yeah, and watch them.
Yeah.
What's corn bringing right now? What is it? You got it?
Well,
I see you got you.
It went
The
down
bid-
today.
the
Went
bids-
down big time today because the news and the Ukraine.
Yep, the bid sheet came out today, and they're giving $6.57 for new crop beans. I mean corn, new crop corn.
$6.50.
Yep.
Okay, what was it last year? If you remember, anybody remember?
We got that
Four-
last year.
$4.69 is what we got last year.
So you're $2 a bushel up, but
Well, I
the
guess that was 2020.
2020 last year is about the same thing. But you got this year, you're going to have more fertilizer. What do you project it? Is that what they're projecting, contracting it at? What you're saying, this corn crop y'all put?
That's price today.
Right.
Yeah, that's if.
What contracting prices were?
Yeah, that's contracted price.
That's what I thought. So that
but-
if what you haven't even growed yet, if you're contracted now,
Right.
they'll pay you $6.50 a bushel.
That's right.
When you get this crop grown.
Correct.
Yes.
And it was $5 approximately last year, or about the same. You say pretty close.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
pretty
get my
close
math.
last year.
I want the audience to understand, but yet they're paying you about the same price this year, but the cost of fertilizer has
You can see by the chart,
It's off the
double.
chart.
Some of it's triple. And like Blake was saying, we may not even be able to get it. We don't know. I mean, we've got enough fertilizer at the house right now to put out the crop to get it started. But then after we get it planted, a month or so later, then we got to start what they call side dressing it. Put more fertilizer on it.
Right.
We don't know
you're
when
gonna
we
be
get
able
to that point if it's going to be available or not. And if it is available, what's it going to cost?
So there's a possibility that that $1,100, Tim, you can come in any time. Might be $1,200, $1,300 time the fertilizer gets to the ground.
We're hoping not, but if you do the math on that, here in Henry County, we've had 2 excellent corn crops, and I would say the county average has been just under 200. The Stewart's probably, being good farmers, have probably gone a little north of that 200. But if you take 200 times 6, that's $1,300 an acre, and your cost is 11. That's if everything goes well.
That's right.
And it's like one of the farmers that we both know many years ago was farming down at Puryear, and there was a little patch behind the Methodist church, and they said, how did that yield? And he said, oh, it yielded 200 bushel an acre. I said, well, it couldn't because half of it was drowned it out. And he said, oh, you don't count that in the average. so
Okay.
we won't mention any names, but
Right, I
we know who we're
understand.
talking about. But anyway, the issue there is that's on paper. It doesn't pan out like that.
We're not even figuring in. We done spoke about the price of fertilizers doubled or possibly tripled.
Yeah.
Look at your diesel fuel, because all of y'all are diesel.
Yeah.
Nobody uses much gas in farming industry. I don't believe it's mostly diesel. What is no tax off-road diesel right now? $4?
$4.19, wasn't it? He called
about
yesterday.
$4.19.
Yeah, but people don't understand when you're a farmer or you use diesel fuel off the road, you don't put it on the highway. They drop some of the tax on it, so you can get it's a dyed fuel. It's got a color in it where they can check it and see if you're cheating. That's off-road diesel. Most people know it, but some people don't. I want to make sure they understand that it's a little bit cheaper than what it takes to put in your vehicle and drive down the road. So it's $4. I know this is probably going to be a question y'all didn't even think to answer, but how many gallons of diesel fuel it take to put a crop in?
Well, we was figuring this the other day, and
Oh, really? Okay.
we probably need just to get it planted, 5,000-6,000 gallons. And Blake was just talking about the other day. He said, "Well, we go run the tractor and the sprayer and stuff, so we're gonna be using 300 gallons a day." And 300 times
That's $4. Help me on my math. Is that not $1,200?
It's pretty close, sir.
$1,200 a day just in diesel
now that's
fuel.
just diesel fuel.
That's just
now,
diesel fuel. Now
we got a breakdown. We had a flat tire. We run
That's
over.
right. I
We're
was
running
gonna get
over
to
a
that.
tree. We got to go cry to Tony. We need some parts.
That's right. That's right. And you don't tear up your planter, don't tear up your sprayer.
Yep.
And then you got your chemicals. I'm sure all of y'all use Roundup or equivalent to Roundup, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Is
Yeah.
it available? I notice in the stores what I use is $175 a gallon where it was $40 last year.
That's right.
What the hell's that all about? What's causing that to go up?
Yeah, that's all due to China. Some people blame it on the Olympics that was going on over in China. They was trying to clean up the air or whatnot. But see, Bayer and all of them is that's China.
Right.
And just like your shipping ports, they're all stacked up over in California.
Right. Florida opened some of them up.
Yeah, Florida did. He wants them to come over.
Yeah.
But
they're telling me I'm getting close to a commercial break, but I want to tell y'all this. We go to the store. We done satisfied this that we go to the store and I can't get my crackers. I won't say toilet paper for Tim because he don't understand my shopping habits. but you can't get crackers. Meat's $20 or $28 for a steak, a good steak. Everything's just, it don't matter what it is, Tim. It's all through the roof. And they're saying they can't get it. We done kind of well figured out that these farmers right over here and you can make it. Y'all have got it. He's got corn in his silos that he's still waiting to sell. So if we had to blame someone for the grocery store, let's just use Kroger. Shelves are kind of bare. What is causing it? Is it China? Is it shippers? Is it truckers? Or is it all above?
Well, our president said it was the problem that we only had 4 major meat packers and they were ripping everybody off. And I asked the question immediately, why do we only have 4 major meat packers?
Because of EPA, I'm sure.
It's a lot of it has to do with regulations. Mm-hmm. If you and I wanted to go out and start a meat processing plant so that we could be government inspected and ship nationwide or worldwide, there's no way in our lifetime we could ever pencil in a profit with all the regulations you've got to meet, and it would probably take us 5 years to get approved. Having said that, let me. I'm not down in the inspectors because in the United States we've got the best supply of food, we've got the safest supply of food, and we've got the cheapest supply of food of any place in the world by a factor. Well, Canada's a little less, but we're right now at 6-7%. Some say 10%, but it's less than that of disposable income for food.
Right.
And it's because of innovative farmers that work hard and they don't get paid a whole lot. I'm trying to get the missus to go on strike. She deserves more money out on the Stewart plant. She deserves more money. But we've have a system.
Did you pencil that in, Jerry?
Yeah. I don't think he didn't smile when I said that.
No, he ain't gonna smile about that one.
But with regulations,
checkbook.
with regulations and everything, we still have it better than any place else in the world. Just think about it, less than 10% disposable income.
That, but it pisses me off when we've got the best in the world. We got the best farmers. We've got the best equipment, the best minds. In my opinion, the best minds are in this country. The brains are in America. But you still go to the grocery store, and I feel like I'm getting shafted, and I can't get everything I want. Cows, I want you to break it down for me, for these people out there, about a steak, Walmart, Kroger, anywhere. You got cattle.
Yep.
Just in simple terms, for somebody that's kind of dumb like I am. I told y'all earlier, I surround myself with smart people because I'm kind of dumb. What does a cow bring to the sale barn? Tell me the weight of the average cow that goes to the sale barn. You carry a cow.
Okay, if you don't kill a cow, and take it, if you don't want to put it in the freezer, you want it to be around 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
Of course, we're gonna do that easy math.
Right.
They're gonna be bringing $1.30, $1.40 at the sale barn. That's what it costs.
So 1,000-pound cow at $1.40 a pound.
That's $1,300.
$1,300. Okay.
All right.
That's how much of the meat? When you buy a T-bone steak, you buy bone. But let's just kind of say on average, how much of that is hide, how much of it is guts, and how much of it's bone. How much meat out of 1,000 pounds can you eat?
About 68%.
I was fixing to say about 60%.
68%, 65% for argument's sake here. So it goes from $1 something a pound. 68% of that, I'm not good in my head, but that's about $3.
I said 68%, but a lot of people, Americans don't eat fat.
Yeah.
So you're
Well, I do.
60%. Well,
Okay, 60%.
I'm not talking about marbling now.
Okay,
I'm talking about,
okay.
you know,
Let's say
hog jaw in the,
we're going to, since you're throwing away the hide, and they sell the hides, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They throw the hide out. Raw material, you got about $3 a pound in the meat, would you say?
close.
Packer. Okay. By the time it gets to the buyer buys it, he's got to profit it and sell it to the meat packer. Because most time it goes to a party before it gets to the packing plants, right? It's got a party in the middle there. I'm going to make some of my buddies mad at me, but I don't care. Anyway, then it leaves there and the packer gets it. And they sell it to Walmart and the Kroger, and it's $12. Where in the hell's all that profit getting made at from this guy over here? Just sold it for $1.40 a pound to $12 and $18 a pound. I've seen. Where's the profit been? Are we getting ripped off, or can they sit here? If I had a meat packer come in here, can he explain to me?
Well, you got to factor in that 68% on that.
I just did that. I carried it up to $3 a pound.
Okay, but
They got a meat graph we can put up right here.
Look
That's what the
$4 diesel fuel.
That's what you're buying right there.
Everybody got a pay raise.
That's $10 per pound is what you're paying for at the grocery store on average. That's figuring in steak, hamburger meat, and probably bologna and pig lips and all that stuff. No, it's beef. Well, ain't gonna pig lips in that.
Chicken lips.
Chicken lips maybe, and water. And they put a lot of water in. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money being made. And it ain't been made by the farmer, and I don't think it's getting made by the grocery store because there's a thing called competition that kind of sets the price in the grocery store. You all know what that is.
So you just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, there's got to be a problem between after the farmer sells it until it gets ready to be sold to Walmart. There's a lot of I'm figuring $3 because I told you it's $1.40. Take the head and all the ways, make that meat cost $3 a pound. Because they got to throw some stuff away, and I'm probably being very liberal on that, giving them $3. Just saying that's what they got. They probably got less than that, and it goes to 18 to 20. There's a problem.
Well, what you said before, profit's not a dirty word.
But there's gouging.
Yes, and maybe in some cases, but the way you eliminate that is with competition. Mm-hmm. And
more packing plants.
Yes,
I got you.
There you go. Hey, do you know what the #1 use of cowhide in the United States is?
Probably, no, really I don't.
Holding the cow together.
That's probably. Is
that a good segue to a commercial or what?
Yeah. Somebody says Yoder sells meat retail. I got some questions here before I go. They're telling me to go to a break. Y'all hear that, or is it just me? Anyway,
no, it's
just you.
Three. I got three. One guy says, if necessarily, if the if the crop falls apart, can local farmers transition from ethanol corn to soybeans and regular corn to feed the local consumption? Y'all kind of get the gist of what he's asking.
Yeah.
Can that be done pretty simply?
Yes.
Yeah. So we could maybe every area feed that area. And the other one I asked, is there any government subsidies to help farmers through this? Is there any programs?
I don't think this year there is.
You heard anything?
There's always some programs there, something, but it's and it makes headlines, but it doesn't make payroll.
I got you.
The biggest cost of the farm program is food stamps.
Yeah. Hey, it's the best thing.
We're not getting it.
No.
Well, farmers do get some things, but the average cost, the average individual for all the farm programs that go to the farmer is less than 1 penny per meal per person.
Right.
That's your cost on all of these government subsidies that you see on all the news.
Somebody asked if the government is making it hard. Well, it left. There it went. So that you'll sell out and they can buy the land, like a deal they can't turn down. I know what she's saying. I don't think the government's trying to buy farmland up. They're limited on some of your set aside properties. They pay you not to farm it, but that's not happening. Most everybody's put that back under the plow now, haven't they? There's very little of that left.
There ain't much of that going on.
No, because we're feeding more people.
Yeah.
And somebody says Yoder sells meat retail. Federal regulations keep local farmers from simply selling retail.
That's right.
Yeah. And is that y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably
It can be done, but it is very expensive.
Yeah, I think that the Goulishes are building a retail place out on 641. That's what kind of what Yoder Brothers is doing.
Now there's we could take a cow to Yoder Brothers and have it killed, and then we could bring it back home if it's USDA inspected.
That's right. They got the little great looking
stamp on it, y'all, and then we could sell it,
but then our premises have to get inspected too.
That's right.
To be USDA inspected.
Ask you a question: is I hear this all the time, and I think it's talking points. GMO food, all this corn y'all are planting is killing us. Is anything to any of that?
No,
I don't think so.
You think so?
I went to Virginia 2 years ago, and people were sitting there buying $7 a gallon non-GMO milk. And, it's healthy. And they walked out, if you had a $20 purchase, you could have a seedless watermelon. So people had their $6 non-GMO milk and a seedless watermelon.
Yeah, I got you. What about the cattle and the pigs and the cows and the chickens and all that? They say we're growth hormoning them up. I don't think he's been growth. I'm not a farmer, y'all. I think it's select breeding. Sometimes one cow and one hog or one chicken's a little bigger than the rest of them. You kind of want to breed them to get the bigger ones. Is that y'all think?
It's strict. You cannot have antibiotics. You cannot have steroids. Right. In your meat, it's all inspected.
That's what I thought. So to set the record straight, coming out of as we say, the horse's mouth, that's bull.
That's right.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So
on the finished product. There can be no steroids or.
Well, you take the dairies. Dairies. If they got a sick cow and they vaccinate that cow, they dump that milk out.
Yeah.
So if they're dumping gallons of milk, that's money that's going down the drain they can't pay.
That's right.
So why would they want to? And they know that because they're done tested. There's a way to test.
Yeah, you don't run a whole batch because of one cow's milk.
That's right.
Yeah, I understand that. All right, they're telling me to go to break. We're going to take a break here. I got to pay the bills, as they say, and we'll be back. I got Jerry Stewart, Blake Stewart from what I used to call Down and Dirty Farming. Now they call it Stewart Farming. And I got Tim Brannon out here. We'll be right back. We're going to finish up this conversation. Don't go nowhere.
This presentation of the Mike Weatherford Show is being brought to you by...
Don't forget, August the 4th, your friend, my friend, and our friend, David Hayes, is running for County Commissioner, District 4. Don't be a hater, vote for Tater.
This has been a paid political ad for David Hayes for County Commissioner. Paid for by David Hayes.
With a new name and a new location, Paris Power Sports is now Paris Outdoor Power. What's not changing, though, is the same great quality service and commitment to your satisfaction. Leading the area since 2016 as your bad boy and skag mower dealer, Paris Outdoor Power will continue to proudly bring only the best in outdoor equipment, including now TYM tractors, as well as outstanding, reliable service that is centered on and committed to creating long-lasting relationships. Come see our new showroom today, Paris Outdoor Power. Mow with an attitude and power on.
Napa Auto and Truck Parts. With over 95 years of experience, you can trust the Napa know-how.
Take Me Back Cafe. Delicious home-cooked family-style meals in a nostalgic, warm, and inviting atmosphere. Take Me Back Cafe. Great for the entire family.
And the attorneys at Hawley & McAdams, who with over 90 years of combined experience, pride themselves in competent, thorough representation, utilizing their vast experience in a broad array of practice areas. Voted favorite law firm in the 14th Annual Reader's Choice Award, Hawley & McAdams are proud and honored to serve you.
Shattering the image of standard nursing homes and committed to enhancing the human spirit, Charter Senior Living of Paris is focused on removing barriers that can prevent your success and a better life. A unique boutique community with many wonderful amenities, we offer various levels of quality care in an apartment and floor plan of your choosing. Learn more and request your free resource guide at charterparis.com or give us a call today. When physical assistance becomes a necessity, enjoy the peace of mind you deserve.
Don't let pain become a way of life. Voted 6 years in a row as the winner of Favorite Chiropractor in the PI Reader's Choice Awards, Dr. Dustin Forrester can help restore your sense of normalcy and help put some spring back in your step. We are proud to announce the addition of Dr. Grace Burden to our staff, providing the service of dry needling for all our patients. Call our office at 731-644-9000 to schedule your appointment today, and you could be another one of our many happy and satisfied customers.
The decision to buy or sell a home can be a difficult one, and it's important to have someone you can trust during that process. Landmark Realty is that someone, committed to serving you and to building solid, long-lasting relationships. Our experienced real estate agents with established professional networks work hard to help you find your perfect dream home. Browse our wide variety of homes at landmarkrealtytn.com or stop in at either of our 2 locations in Camden or Paris. Don't live in the past. Let Landmark move you into your future.
Whether it's real estate, business, criminal, or family law, civil litigation, estate planning, or even personal injury, attorneys Andy Clark, and Chad Cox of Clark & Cox PLLC provide the experienced and trusted representation that you're looking for. A long-standing Paris PI Reader's Choice favorite. Clark & Cox address your legal issues using the team approach, setting into motion a strong and highly competent and capable staff to assist you with all your legal needs. To find out more about how we can help you, visit clarkandcoxlaw.com or call us at 731-642-4446.
L.I. Smith & Associates, a full-service engineering and surveying company that combines 40 years of industry expertise with new cutting-edge technology to provide innovative solutions to real-world problems. Headquartered in Paris, the professionals at L.I. Smith are dedicated to providing high-quality surveying and civil engineering services throughout Henry County and the surrounding region. L.I. Smith & Associates, industry expertise, innovative solutions, and community-focused. 54 Fuel Mart, a great place to eat with friendly staff and some of the best gas prices in town. Stop in for a bite to eat or get treated like family. That's 54 Fuel Mart, 1213A West Wood Street in Paris.
For the last 35 years, Terry Leonard has litigated civil and criminal cases in both local and federal courts across Tennessee. Raised in Benton County and coupled with his background in small business and farming, Terry's experiences provide him unique insights on the challenges faced by West Tennesseans today. A Christian, conservative, and active Republican, Terry believes strong values create a strong community. Firmly believing that all deserve the right to be treated with dignity and respect, Terry has provided extensive pro bono legal work for the less fortunate. Terry Leonard, experienced, fair, honest, and caring. Vote Terry J. Leonard this May 3rd as your candidate for Circuit Court Judge.
Find out more at voteterryleonard.com. Paid for by Terry J. Leonard, candidate for Circuit Court Judge Division 2. Misha Adams, Treasurer.
Welcome back. We've been talking with local farmers, businessmen, tractor sellers, entrepreneurs, men of wisdom. I've done it all on here tonight. I got somebody slipped in, I've got the Stewart boys and I've got Mr. Brandon over here. We've been talking about farming, shortages, what's causing it. Is these farmers going to make it? How do we know? We don't know. But boys, I want to get into Ukraine, Russia, all the crap that we import and what little bit we export. Why are we as Americans worried about Ukraine and their wheat crop when we've got a lot of land to grow wheat on? When do y'all pick that up and run with it? Tell me why. What's going on with everybody talking about there's going to be a shortage of wheat bread because of Ukraine?
Well, a third of the food in Europe comes from Ukraine. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. That's what it's been known as. And you said you'd like to get into Ukraine. That's the problem. Putin wanted to get into Ukraine.
Well, he's in it.
Yeah, he's caused a worldwide issue there. And the head of Goya Food, they're providing a lot. It's a major food company.
I know they are.
They're providing a lot of relief food for the Ukrainians. And he was on an interview and he looked into the camera and he said that if they don't get this thing fixed by crop planting time, that the American family, could be looking at $1,000 a month more in food cost. And the guy touched his ear, and after he got through talking, he said, "You meant 100." He said, "No, sir, 1,000." So hopefully they'll get this thing settled. But the problem is, this is a world
economy now.
Economy that we're into. If you take a third of the food away from Europe and the amount of food that is shipped into the African nations, into the Middle East, and you dry up that supply, you're going to have famine like you've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. For as long as I know, that Russia has always been a big wheat. They was big in wheat. And
is there different kinds of wheat?
There's a lot of different kinds of wheat, yeah. But with what's going on with Russia, they're evil. They're not. The Ukrainians didn't ask them to come over there. My opinion of Russia is the world, the free world, I guess, needs to tell Russia, go jump in the lake. Yeah. And we need to band together and we'll take care of ourselves. Now, we might be hardships.
Yeah.
But Russia controls about 40% of the fertilizer industry, talking about fertilizer.
Right.
And of course, if you ain't got fertilizer, you can't grow a crop.
Anymore, you can't.
So they know they're sort of in control. I mean, they know they've got some ropes they can pull.
You could, I noticed you farm out there by the airport. I drive by it every day. You don't have a wheat crop in that one field this year.
Well, it's not there, yeah.
Yeah.
If you look just before you get to the airport, there's field of wheat.
You know what I'm saying? If they had, hindsight's 2020. Can America make up if Ukraine don't get to plant the wheat? Can we make? They grow corn over ours. It's mostly wheat.
Yeah, they grow. I think a big thing is sunflowers.
Okay.
Which that's oil. But that's an oil product. So soybeans is oil.
Right.
Canola is oil.
Right.
And
rape, is that oil too?
That's oil.
That's a rape seed.
Yeah.
Right. But can America pick up this year if they realize that, like Tim said a while ago, if they don't get this crap settled, and they don't, have they got their crops out yet?
Oh no, they're in about the same.
They're about the same as we
attitude as we are.
Okay, so they're waiting.
And they've got their farmers are all fighting wars. They can't get fuel. They can't get fertilizer as well because a lot of the infrastructure is torn up.
That's right.
So don't look for a lot to come out of the Ukraine and Russia. There's a world boycott on Russia, and
so that wheat's going to rot in the field. Russia's wheat's not going to get sold on the market.
It won't be the first time. we had a friend that went over there. Russia had a great wheat famine. There's nothing wrong with the wheat crop. Everything is centrally controlled, and Moscow said, let's cut wheat. The wheat was 2 weeks later. They just run dough wheat through their combines, and then they had to cover it up and say, oh, it was a famine. And it, that's the way the communists, that's the way the communists works.
They don't let the farmers farm. They tell them, okay, today you got to plant.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it come 3 inches of rain last night.
Right.
So they plant until they get stuck.
Well, we're almost that bad in this country. Not quite, but we're damn near there in my industry.
But on top of that, all of this comes through the Black Sea, and some genius mined all the harbors over there.
Right.
And it wasn't, I think it was Ukraine that mined it to keep the Russians from coming in. People don't want to take loaded barges of soybeans and corn and wheat in a mined harbor.
It'd be like that one boat gets shot.
Yeah.
I was hauling wheat. Right, I had a little bit of wheat take off, and I got a few loads off, and then they said, "Don't bring no more." They didn't know what to do with it. What they was afraid of was they didn't know what the price was going to do, and they didn't want to buy the wheat as the market was because they was afraid they'd pay me too much and they'd be stuck with it. So they just shut it off. They just shut it off.
Okay, so let me get this clear. I'm not a farmer. Y'all. Well, I'm sure it's pretty damn obvious after talking to me 5 minutes. I don't know nothing about farming. I know how to eat and buy toilet paper, but
Crackers.
They don't eat very much.
Yeah, I don't eat much, just crackers.
That's where soft red winter wheat comes
That's
from.
right, yeah.
We grow soft red winter wheat.
Yeah.
That's biscuit dough and dog food.
Now, you're going to piss me off. They mess my biscuit dough, 'cause I like biscuits.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, I told you. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I didn't say you. I said they going to piss me off. They're going to mess with my damn...
Cool it down,
with my biscuits.
Calm down.
Jerry, don't you like biscuits and gravy?
Yeah.
I'll pick up a gun. You go to mess with my biscuits and gravy.
But around here, if you go to the grocery store, it's hard red winter wheat, which is grown up north, and that's what comes in your light bread.
Right. Okay.
And for whatever you pay for it, there's probably less than 10, 11 cents of wheat in that bread.
Right.
There again, you're talking about the middleman, and it's a necessary evil in the food
It
stuff.
is, but there's a difference in profit, which we all agree is not a dirty word, and gouging. And I want to make sure that because a working man, the rich is not affected, and some of the poor is not affected. But the working man can't buy a steak. I can't. I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, I love to eat steak. I'm a meat eater. I mean, that's what I do. But I know how hard it is for me to make $20. And going there in that store, and the way I see things, I'm thinking, man, I feel like I'm getting, not y'all farmers, I want you to know I'm on y'all side, but I feel like I'm getting ripped a new high end when I pay $20 for a steak. That's crazy. And you go in these restaurants, this price increase and shortage. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and they'll say, well, I don't have the normal stuff I usually do. I had to get substituted. And then they're saying, well, that's run out. Now we don't even have it. So Ukraine, growing a lot of wheat, can American farmers pick up that slack if we know it's coming for next year? Can we plant it this fall?
I don't think we can.
I don't think we can replace that, no.
It's a logistical problem.
Right.
It's cost too much to ship wheat, and there's better sources of protein.
Well, if it costs too much to ship it, I'm not arguing with you. I want to be clarified. If it costs too much to ship it, why do we care what Ukraine does with their wheat? Are we going to ship ours? You said the reason why wheat can go up is because of the cost. Yeah. But it's too much. I asked you if we could replace it in America, and you said no, it's too much to ship it.
Yeah, it's
too
much of displacement. We only have a fixed amount of acreage, and it's tied into corn, wheat, soybeans, and then the wheat is. We export some wheat, but it's not our bread and butter, and it would take a paradigm shift and all kind of marketing to get to open it up into those areas.
Do we use Ukrainian wheat in this country?
I don't think we're an importer like that.
Well, why are we worried about the price of bread then?
It's all tied in together.
Right.
Everything.
Wheat is something that is raised. They're thrashing wheat. I was told somewhere in the world all the time. Wheat is something that's coming in all the time.
Right.
This country, that country, whatever. So we got wheat's coming in all the time, but then like Tim was talking about, if they're cutting wheat in the Ukraine, well, that's a lot of shipping to get it over here.
Right.
So,
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
but they take care of over in that part of the world, and
We take
we
care
use
of
our wheat over here in this part of the world.
Right. So it shouldn't have. We got plenty of wheat. You can't even
Yeah.
sell what you got. So we shouldn't even worry about bread going up in America.
There again, it's all tied in together.
Market.
That's right.
But you're
That's
talking
right.
about expensive.
That's right.
There's a wheat called Durham Wheat, and that's what they make pizza dough out of it. You know, the guys that flip it and it sticks together. You could be bumping $20 a bushel on that stuff right there.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm
Don't
telling you.
nobody grow it around here.
No, it
What
has to be
about-
grown in a certain area. It's geographically located.
What do we ship to Russia and Ukraine? Because they're not going to buy it from us because they can't even get their crop out. I mean, they.
Lately, it's been a lot of pig iron and micro bullets and microchips
But
and some
honestly,
of those
yeah.
weapons that we've been
Yeah.
shipping to 'em.
But food-wise, did we ship
I
anything
don't think we ship anything over there.
to Russia? They buy our soybeans, don't they? They used to. China's a big one. About
China.
Send a lot to China and South America.
Yeah.
Don't Argentina grow a lot of beans?
Argentina's like,
Argentina,
They're one of our
Brazil.
biggest
I heard they was
competitors.
one of our competitors on the bean market.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brazil controls the market,
So,
and Brazil imports about 85% of their fertilizer from Russia.
Right. So Russia is basically, without Russia, I don't know how to put this in words. If we don't get that fertilizer, our yield's going to drop to hardly anything. So that's going to make another problem, Tim. It's going to make another problem because, you know, a lot of farmers, with the cost of that, they're probably not going to fertilize like they normally would.
that's right. You're going to cut back.
That's right. You're going to have to, you know, to make a profit, you'll have to, but then you're cutting your own nose, no spite your face because then your yield's going to drop.
Farmers are going to start looking at the, what do you call it, the cost of production.
Yeah.
Where it equals, we can grow a tremendous amount of crops,
Yeah.
but there is that,
Cost.
trying to search for the word here, I'll think of it in a minute. But another thing that goes into that is steel. Steel, I've got a friend who runs Easy Trail. They make grain buggies up in Arthur, Illinois. And you've seen the steel going down the highway, 3 rolls on a semi. He was paying $500-600 a ton. He called me and we were talking, and he said the last shipment he got in, he could only get 1 roll. He'd been getting them freight free. I charged him $1,200 freight, and it was $1,750 a ton for 1 roll of steel.
What's causing that?
Energy costs, the embargo is part of it. We have no real supply of domestic steel here
That's
because
sad. Carnegie, U.S. Steel,
yes,
at one time.
but we chose to import it because a lot of it because of environmental
So we
factors.
basically figured out that the federal government of the United States of America is not our best friend sometimes.
Well,
Might be
I don't
yours,
know.
Tim, they ain't mine.
I don't know.
Every time I see them come up, federal government, they always want my back pocket. They want to find me for some kind of crazy mess at the shop or something. You know, every time I see the federal government, city, local, county, state, I got no problem when the feds come in. I guess that's why my family used to feel like they did. They was whiskey runners. See, they hated the feds. You know, maybe we go back to making whiskey.
I'm not going
when
to talk
I had
about
my-
our heritage.
Back years ago when I had my truck, we'd go steel mills up in Pennsylvania and West Virginia and stuff, and I remember seeing on TV a lot of them went out. But we would go into Calvert City and loading up some stuff. It was big old round things, and we'd haul them to the port in South Carolina. And they put them on the ship, and they was going to Russia. And what they told me was big old welding rods like, and that's what they used to melt the steel. And we was shipping that to Russia. Now look where we're at now. Now we're dependent on them to send us the steel. Yeah. We shut down our steel mills, and we're sending this stuff to Russia so they can make the steel.
Same thing. It's everything we do.
Well, we get a lot of pig iron from steel. That's an ingredient to making steel. We get a lot of pig iron from Russia. That's one thing that we do import
So
from
you
Russia.
mean to tell
and China.
me, guys, that it's cheaper? We done figured out it's not cheaper to do wheat. I think I got my point across. But it's cheaper with the government regulations to have our steel shipped in from another country. When we're the one that kind of made steel mills in America, we're the one that come up with the idea of how to smelt it and do it, you know. It's cheaper to haul our corn in from another country. It's cheaper to grow a hog in America, ship it to China, let them process it, and ship it back. we got a problem. If you tell me that it's cheaper than to go out there in your backyard and take a shovel and dig up, I'm just far-fetching this idea, dig up some iron to make steel, but it's cheaper to go over here to China or Russia or Honduras or somewhere and buy it, there's a problem.
Yeah.
We vote with our dollars. It's just like we used to have Paris Hardware, Lucky's Hardware,
right. Wallen's,
and Walmart come to town. Now those guys didn't go out of business because they wanted to. We voted as Americans, and Henry Countyans and citizens of the United States to spend less money for goods and service, even though it may have been a slightly less quality, so we'd have more money to do something else with. It's a dollar chase, and people will vote their pocketbook, and they will vote which business goes through, and it's usually the pocketbook that determines all that.
Now, Tim, you're my victim this time. You sell tractors for a living, basically, and equipment. What the heck's making that stuff go through the roof?
It's the cost of iron, the cost of freight. Our tractors, we have never paid for a 100 horsepower tractor over $600-700 a unit freight. I got in 3 tractors the other day, and the freight on it was $2,700 a piece.
Because of diesel fuel.
Well, it's because of that, and it's
shortage of
the container fees.
And you also, what I had truckers
Ocean-going container fees are a huge part of this inflation.
Out of China, yeah. And I had some truckers tell me
in South America.
Yeah, some truckers have told me that, you know, if you're looking for freight to haul and you're willing to pay $2,700 to get 3 tractors hauled, and the guy down the road wants to pay $900 to get his something else hauled, we're going to go there. And there's less truckers out there. What have you seen tractors for these guys like the Stewart boys in the last, easy numbers, 10 years? How much percent-wise has a 100 horsepower tractor went up?
30%.
From 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, from 10 years ago?
Yeah.
No, I thought 3 years ago. It's gone up about 10% a year. Probably, no, it's not really as bad on. It depends on the level of technology you go to. Are you paying for the technology, or are you paying for a tractor? You can buy a horsepower pretty cheap, but when you load the technology onto it.
Compare apples to apples. A 100 horsepower tractor in 2012 didn't have all the bells and whistles. You still buy that tractor today, I'm sure. Doubled the price. Yeah. But y'all guys are not getting double on cropping.
We're getting a little more than we did, but not double.
Not double. When's it going to get to where the only farmers left are the 1 million acre farmers?
Well,
we're getting there.
There's 2 different issues there. As of right now, 25% of the farmers, and to be a farmer, you have to have $1,000 of income. Of all the farmers, which are less, production agriculturalists, are less than 2% of the American population. Mm-hmm. But yet they, and it's over 2%, they contribute 2% to the gross national product directly. Indirectly, about 60% is involved in agriculture, or the gross domestic product. But the issue that you've got is you've got an aging farm population. The median farm population is now approaching 60 years of age. Productivity starts going down, not that you would know that or anything after a certain age, but I know I do. I don't want to get slapped here, but
keep your slapper up.
I know.
You got to keep reminding me.
But we do have a lot of new farmers, but they are smaller farmers. You've got a lot of niche farmers, and we've got a lot more minority farmers that are actually coming into the farm production. But the majority of the corn, wheat, and soybeans, the big dollars, the cattle, it's going more and more to larger and larger farmers. But
Japan, China, and Bill Gates and some others are buying up some of the best, what I call the breadbasket of America is getting bought up by foreigners.
Bill Gates is not a farmer, but he's a
foreigner. I know, but you know,
I don't know if he's a farmer either.
He's just an owner.
He is. But I throwed him in because I knew you was probably going to say that. But we're getting a lot of our land are getting bought up by foreigners.
China's looking in South America, especially. Yeah. They're looking to buy their protein. They want to be self-sufficient in protein. What they did many years ago, about 30 years ago, they moved all the peasants off of the little rice farms into big cities, and they put them to work in factories. They wanted to be an industrial giant that they have become. And one of the things they didn't think through was, if you move people up the food chain and they're not eating rice, and now then they start eating soup, and then they get a pork chop or a steak, once you get somebody there, it's hard to move them back down the ladder. And so they said, if we're going to control these people the way they do, we got to keep their bellies full. And so that's their number one goal right now, is to become protein independent.
Where do you think the beans that Stewart Farm grows goes?
A lot of our most of our beans, we'll haul them to a port, and they go down the river and they go on a big ship.
Go out of America.
Now we do haul beans.
China.
Yeah,
We have a lot of domestic crush here. We use a lot of soybean oil.
but
We do.
Europe
we
uses
haul
safflower oil, canola, sunflower oil. Not so much us. We use soy oil.
Yep.
yeah, we haul
So-
to Cairo, and they are a soybean process.
So the food, I guess, to put it all in a nutshell, when you go and you see your prices of food is up, and you see the cost of everything. Well, we're looking at food. That's what farmers y'all do is grow our food. When you see the price is up, and they say they can't get it, it's not the local farmer causing that problem. The farmers are doing it. You've got corn that you can't sell. You got wheat you can't sell. So we've kind of narrowed it down. Where the problem is, when it leaves the Stewart Farm, it's ready to go to the market. The problem arises between the Stewart Farm and Walmart.
That's right.
Yep.
That's where the problem arises. Does anybody, any three of y'all gentlemen, know how to fix that problem?
More competition. More competition, less think of government regulations. If you want to invest in anything in the government, I'm all for environmentally safe.
The farmer's the best environmentalists they are.
Yeah,
I don't even wanna
these
hear that
guys,
crap.
they use no-till. They've cut down on erosion.
Yeah.
We're the leader in that. The United States has cleaned up our act as far as polluting the world. Right. We've done our part.
But we're paying China and Russia to pollute it.
But
That's right.
yeah, if you
But
want
we're
to
buying their
invest
products,
anything,
they don't give a crap.
Instead of investing in subsidizing clean energy, invest in competition for security of our food sources, the security of our nation and our farmers, because there's things you got to have, food, clothing, and shelter.
Yeah.
Guess which one's the first one? And that's food.
Yeah.
We've got to have a safe food source, and we do have that now. We've got the best of anywhere in the world, thanks to our farmers.
It's all about
But it is in jeopardy.
Who we've elected in the last 50 years is probably, I don't think any farmers ever gets elected for anything, except local.
Well, they're too
No,
busy.
we gotta be in the field.
They're too busy farming.
I ask you guys a question. The new Green Deal, that's all you hear everywhere. Y'all guys ready to farm on electric tractors?
That's what I told my dealer one time. I said I wanted the first electric combine to come out, but I need a lot of extension cord.
Yeah. Tim, where's the industry at on?
Oh, there's electric tractors out running in prototypes because all of the major equipment manufacturers want to be in favor of all government programs, and the government
lost their minds.
Well, I didn't say that,
I did.
But if you look at John Deere, Case, Agco, and you think there's some those are the major manufacturers of farm equipment. If you think there's some machine out there that spits out products and they know what's going on, look, they're just like us sitting at the table. They're just doing the best they can with what they've got.
But what gripes me is
they're human beings, and this stuff that comes out, cars, trucks, tractors, it's a product of the best we can do at the moment under the government regulations that we're allowed to operate under.
In my industry, auto repair, General Motors said that by 2035 they're going to be a fully electric. And I called, no, you're not. It's not going to happen. A friend of mine, Tater Hayes, said he got on an electric dozer one time. He said it runs good for a few minutes. Is the technology there for you to get on the tractor at daylight? And and plow, or not plow, but put your crop in until dark. Is the technology there yet?
No, it's not. And it
How
won't
far
be.
off is it?
Oh, we're decades away.
That's what I've said.
We'll have to have some new technology. But,
yeah.
but the problem is not, will it work? It is, why are we doing it? Are we trying to be carbon neutral? What does it take to charge the batteries on those?
That's a complete different. I'm with you 100%.
You've got to have either nuclear, and nobody wants to open up a nuclear plant. Everything else is solar or wind, and we know what the wind part's
We're
at.
100 years or more away from being carbon neutral. General Motors can get on TV and tell me in all this in my industry by year 2035 we're going to be no more gasoline engines. No, that's not going to happen. We're not ready. We're nowhere near ready. We're 100 years from being that way. We're paying $4 a gallon for gasoline. We're paying $5 a gallon for diesel fuel or more. We're sitting here worried about getting some oil out of Russia. We're worried about going over to Iran and Iraq and all them places that hate us. We're begging them for their oil. Open up our darn spigots and let's get the problem we've got now, which is shortages in the grocery store. Farmers can't get fertilizer. Let's fix that problem and worry about the Green Deal when it gets time to do the Green Deal. When it's time, when American engineers decide we are close enough, we'll know it. The government can regulate in my industry all the time, but the fleet of vehicles have to get a certain miles per gallon. They're not doing it. They're paying the fine because you can't do it. They ask for stuff that it can't be done. And that's the same way with this Green Deal. We're not ready. It's never going to be ready. My lifetime, I never see it, when you don't need crude oil. Y'all guys tell me where I'm wrong.
You're right.
You're
But
exactly right.
when I was in school, they talked about the problem with the planet was the slash and burn of the rainforest. It's going on now more than ever. Yeah. Have you ever heard any politician say anything about the rainforest, destroying the rainforest?
In my school years, they told us that the next coming ice age. Where the hell did that go?
Well, I did a weekly reader report in the 6th grade. That's back in the eons ago.
Did you have school then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, one room. And we were sitting there.
With a cold stove, probably.
And I was stuttering through this report. Our heat source is the sun. The sun is a star. As stars get older, they get larger. They burn out. It is our heat source. If you stand closer to the heater, you get hotter. Right. And they were talking about a half a degree per decade, and it's exactly what they forecasted.
You can't tell
and they laughed at some of the people. They said the only way to prevent global warming or climate change is to go up and block the sun's rays. Yeah. In geocentric orbit with Venetian blinds in outer space over the oceans where the hurricanes form, over the deserts where the heat source comes from, block that down in a way that you can control. And this is going to be for 50, 100 years from now. We've got to do something. We cannot do it by controlling our carbon footprint.
You know, this is plumb off the subject of food shortage, but I got to say this. When I was in school, they told us that America, most of it was covered in ice sheets, some places a mile thick. Right? You've heard that. If the world wasn't naturally warming, wouldn't we still be covered in ice a mile thick?
Well, there's no doubt there. You know, you
yeah,
can look
so
at the thermometer. We used to have snows here.
They're in my ear. They're telling me, but it's natural. Guys, tell me what you think is going to happen. I want to know before we go. Should these people out there that's going to be hoarding stuff up, should they go out to the grocery stores and hoard, or just everything's going to be fine?
Well, I don't know if everything's going to be fine, but everybody's got to use a little common sense, and we're a little short on that over in this country.
We're a whole lot short.
And just let us do our job, and I think we'll be all right. But there's going to be some tough times. You
got a whole lot of paper there. Anything you want to tell me that you got there?
There's a lot of paper. There's a lot of study stuff.
Give me some stuff here. We got time.
I mean,
tell me where you at. You're a young farmer. You're the next one that's going to feed me and my grandkid. When
the thing that kills me is when the people go to the grocery store, and you go to the grocery store. Just take green beans for example. We raise green beans here in the United States, and there's cans that sit there that says non-GMO green beans on the shelf. I don't know the exact price. We're gonna say they're $3 a can. And you go right beside it and they say just green beans. They don't have the non-GMO green bean on them. And say they're
99 cents.
yeah, they're a lot cheaper. They're gonna buy that non-GMO green bean. What they think, because it's a label on the thing. There's no such thing as a non-GMO green bean. No such thing. But they stick that sticker on there because they can make another $2 a can.
What word are they using now a lot? You see on stuff.
Gluten free?
Nah, there's another word. On shit stuck on food all the time now. What is that?
Is it on crackers or?
Toilet paper mostly. Yeah. What is that word they put on it now? Organic.
Organic. Yep.
Yeah.
Organic eggs. What the hell's an organic egg?
Well, it's like free-range chickens.
Yeah. What the hell's that?
Well, it's free-range chickens.
They let them out, eat little grass, and put them back in at night.
As long as you cut a hole in your chicken house so that the chickens will go out, and they don't, then you can call them free-range chickens. There's no difference between that and, well, maybe you got the occasional Arnold Schwarzenegger rooster, that wants to go out and crow, but, and I got lots of chicken stories for you. But.
Oh, yeah, funny thing is people used to tell me years ago, my dad used to laugh at them, my mom, they'd say, country eggs are browns and ones raised in the pens are white. And my daddy said, no, usually a white chicken lays a white egg and a brown chicken lays a brown egg. Usually, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, that's a different story. But go ahead, well, y'all farmers can feed us. If these people will come and get the product that you've got available, you've got wheat, you've got corn, you probably got some beans, I'm sure, sitting there waiting, and you're playing the market, you ain't going to sell it for less than it costs you. That's understandable. But the products.
That's not true. They don't have any control over what they sell it for.
No, I'm just saying. I know what you're saying, but he's holding it back, trying to get him more money. Yeah. But the point.
The farmers don't have control of it.
That's right. I know that. But what I'm saying, you're holding some of it back. You may have to sell it. I understand what you're saying. But we've got the product. We've got the corn. We've got the meat. There's probably a lot of cows. You hear on the news, well, there's less cows. Well, I've heard rumors there is not less. We got the beef. We got the beef in this country, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
The beef's there, right, Tim? Everybody, the beef's here. Are we down a few cows?
A few cows, but not very much.
Not very much. So the beef's there. So that's why we're sitting here looking at paying $20 for a darn, $25, $6, $8 for a steak in the store because they say they can't get it from you to the meat butcher, and then the meat packers. He says it needs competition. I'm going to call it gouging because that's they're gouging this with that.
And another thing of the farmers, we sort of control I say we control the market. We don't control the market, but we flood the market at times.
Sure.
And that causes our product to go down, but it don't cause it to go down in the store.
It never does.
Just like all these prices now that it takes to raise some cows. I mean, out west where the cattle producers are, where the cowboys are, they're culling their cows right now because they don't pay nothing to feed them longer. So we're flooding the packing houses now. That's why if you look at cattle prices today, they're down. If you looked at them all week, they've been going down because out west they're culling their animals earlier than what they normally do. Because it costs so much.
Right,
so we flood that market, but you won't see that in the grocery store.
No, what you're saying is it's basically like beers does the diamond industry. They price. No, that's a different story. But they're saying that fertilizer's going. They got to fertilizer pastures to keep their cow. They got to cut hay. All that price is going up, and they don't see the market. I'm going to get rid of my cow. I'm not going. So now we got probably a surplus of meat, but we'll never see it at Walmart and Kroger and everywhere else. Is what they're saying.
But another thing that you see why our price is so high, when the people that can control the prices, if they're not selling it, they'll drop their price and their sales will increase. Okay, when you dump as much money into an economy as what our government is dumped into, you've got people awash with cash, and they'll pay those prices.
That's what I said earlier. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I was meaning earlier. You got. The rich doesn't affect. The poor is getting extra money. The rich man's one he can't. I mean, the middle class can't buy.
What percent of the United States do you think makes over $550,000 a year? The rich.
12%.
1%.
Really?
1%.
I thought 1% was the millionaires.
1%, $550,000 or more.
I thought it was 12% because I just read that the other day. I read 12% and 1% made $1 million.
As far as the people making the salary right
I'll
now,
never get there anyway. So hell, it could be 99%, and I'll be the one that don't.
Congress is going to start a new tax bill, and the biggest fallacy around is trying to tax the rich.
Yeah.
The rich didn't get rich by being stupid.
I don't know what fair share is. I hear it all the time, fair share. You will need to pay your fair share.
Believe you me, the farmer pays their fair share.
In the auto repair shop, you pay it too, guys.
Farm equipment dealers, you pay the fair share on all the taxes.
Anything you want to wrap up with before I let y'all boys go back to feeding cattle and
You got time for a chicken story?
Tell me a chicken story.
When they moved out Land Between the Lakes,
Yeah.
This came from an ag teacher from ag.
Was it white
Murray
chickens or brown chickens?
I don't know.
Okay.
When they moved out, everybody with the flooded Land Between the
I got
Lakes,
you.
they had a government program to grow chickens. And so they put the adult farmer teachers out to teach the people how to grow chickens. So they had a meeting in Aurora, and there was a ferry that come across. This teacher lived in Cadiz. He rode the ferry across. The ferry driver said, if it's going to snow tonight, if it starts icing, I'm going to blow the horn. You better cut it short. You got 5 minutes and I'm gone and putting this thing to bed. So he got through his meeting and he was teaching all these farmers how to grow chickens profitably. Well, 2/3 into it, the horn blow. All right, so he said, I got to shut it down, folks. You got any questions, you just call me. So he got on the ferry, went back, and he went to his boarding house, and he got in bed with his night shirt on. And the phone rang. The landlady come and got him and said, come here, and you got a phone call. So he was out there standing on one foot, another, cold. And this lady said, you didn't answer the question I had. He said, what was it, ma'am? I said, look, I'm going to have my chickens. Now, when I put the rooster in, how long does the rooster have to be with the chickens before I can guarantee the broodery that I got 100% fertilized eggs? And he said, oh, man, I knew that. It was in my notes in there. I don't want to go. I got to do it. I'm a teacher. He said, just a minute, ma'am. She said, thank you, and hung up.
Well, guys, I hope we've enlightened my audience on a little bit. I think we have, don't you?
Sure.
They're
confused now.
That's right.
We've got them all confused, but
I didn't get slapped.
You didn't get slapped. He got his no slap zone sign on, but I think we all need to tell the people to not rush out and start hoarding. That's the worst thing to do. That just that's what Tim was saying a while ago. They're not going to drop the prices as long as we're buying it. But we got problems, and these problems have been coming for years. And like Tim said earlier, we've got the perfect storm right now, and we'll get through it. We may look like a chicken being through a tornado, talking about chickens, but we'll come through it. But it's going to be tough, and we're going to see some farmers not make this.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's going to be.
We're just going to have to. Everybody just needs to calm down, use a little common sense.
Yeah.
Just like this pandemic, if we'd used a little common sense, we'd been done with it a long time ago.
That's exactly right. I agree 100%. I mean,
but here we are.
Yeah. Common sense is not common.
Yeah.
It's kind of a rarity, ain't it, Tim? You ain't got no chicken story about that?
Yeah, I got a chicken story. But you don't have time.
Well, guys, they telling me,
That's the shortest one I had.
I've got extra stuff that y'all don't hear talking. They're telling me that I'm running over my allotted time, and they're going to find me.
It's been fun. Thank you very much.
Yes, and
thank you for having us.
It's in the freezer.
That's right.
It's on that pizza out there, too.
That's right. Guys, I appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all, I think we done what we want to do. We told the people that it ain't the farmers. The farmers are not getting rich off these high prices. It's coming after it leaves the farm. Y'all keep doing what you're doing.
Tractor dealers are not getting rich.
And I ain't talking to you. I get over it in a minute. Y'all guys keep doing what you're doing. Now let's talk to the tractor dealer. You're the one making all the money. You're charging these poor farmers.
That's right.
30 times or 100 times more.
Just load it on. I can take it. I got big shoulders. I stayed on the school board 10 years. I can take it.
You're something wrong with your mind, evidently. But Tim, I appreciate you coming. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I did. Had a great time. It's kind of like Tim and Tim used to be. You're a great host.
We were reminiscing what you and I have done for years.
Yes.
You got a phone call from me, kind of shocked you, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Y'all got it. I know it shocked y'all. Y'all have fun. Yeah. What do you think about my crew, my setup?
Yeah.
it's good.
It's pretty good setup here.
High
ain't it?
tech. Above my pay grade.
It's mine too. I give you pizza, give you drinks. I mean, what else do you want?
I don't know, a little pay would do it,
Yeah, shit, I knew. But yeah, steak dinner. Hell, I got to come in my ears. Steak. Are you saying? Hold on a minute. Are you saying that Kevin Keel is going to feed everybody steak? Did I hear you say that?
Where's the beef?
Yeah. And I haven't done this in a while. What does that say right out there? Y'all help me. Can y'all see it on that screen? What does that say right out there? Look at that screen right there.
We can't read.
Do not live.
Yeah. No, that's
Mike Weatherford.
that's what it says, the Mike Weatherford Show. Y'all seen how hard the producer is on me.
Yes,
Did y'all witness that?
Yes.
What I have to go through. And I have to remind him.
Takes years off your life, doesn't it?
I'm going to die, I know, 5 years quicker because of it. No, now, did you hear that? That's God talking. You hear what he said?
Is he talking L.I. Smith? Is that what he's
That's
talking
what
about?
he's talking about, the old hospital across the street. Y'all see how I'm abused and reused. If it wasn't for the camera guys and all the other crew here, I would never get no respect. He said, quit crying and get off there. Did y'all hear that?
Rodney Dangerfield.
All right, which camera you want me on there? There you go. All right, he's telling me in my ear to get on camera 4. So y'all don't even realize all the stuff that I go through back here. But like I said, guys, I want y'all to remember, starting April, let me get my notes out here. I want to make sure I say it properly or he'll be in my ear. April the 5th, next week, we've got Matt Stowe, Neil Thompson. They're running for district attorney. And right there it is. You can see it. They're coming in. We're going to be talking with them. I got Patrick Smith. He's going to help my co-host. He's a smart guy. He'll help me get through all this crazy stuff that I don't know what I'm doing. But these guys are coming in. We're going to talk to them, find out what it's been going on running for district attorney. It's a new series we got going. We're starting out next week. We're going to run all the candidates through here. The week after, I believe, we've got Vicki Snyder, Chad Cox. They're running for general session. They're coming back in. We're going to talk to these people. And we're going to find out, what you need to know about these people so you can make your mind up. And election is very important. It starts locally. I want you to go vote, and I want you to listen to these candidates. We're going to ask them questions. We're going to find out what they're talking about and make your mind up. Let's get this through here. But I want to appreciate everybody. I appreciate my people coming in here. I appreciate all y'all, the guests. I hope you had fun. I really thank you for coming in, guys. You really make me look smart, and that's hard to do. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'll go as far as making me look smart, maybe. But you didn't make me look dumb. How's that, Tim?
I'll go with that.
Well, the producers arguing with that already. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I want to tell y'all to go follow us on Facebook, like us. When you see my sponsors, tell them how much you appreciate it, because without them guys, we couldn't do this. And so tune in next week, 7 p.m., April the 5th. Remember, we're starting our series with the candidates. 7 p.m. next Tuesday. Don't be late.